In America, we are faced with a home affordability crisis, and it's not only happening here in America, it's happening in other countries globally as well. It's almost like being able to afford a home is a luxury rather than a necessity for shelter. And I have many home buyers, and especially first-time home buyers and renters, ask me, well, how did we get into this situation and how do we resolve it? So in this video, I'm going to give you a little bit of background history on how we got here, and I'm going to offer some of my own solutions on how we can solve it. And if you have any suggestions or opinions, drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear what you have to say. My name is Cherilyn Williams, and I'm your local Chicagoland realtor, helping you build your dreams through real estate. Now, many people and experts would say that the reason why there is a home affordability crisis is because the interest rates are really high. And that is true. That is one factor. But there's one other main factor that we must look at, and that is the lack of supply of homes. Right now, in the real estate market across America, we have a very low inventory or shortage of homes, and we have a high demand of home buyers that want to buy these homes. Even though the interest rates are high, we still have a lot of home buyers that want to purchase. And this is causing multiple offers, bidding wars, and tough competition. Some home buyers are putting in offers at $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 over asking price. And this is increasing home pricing. Now let's look at the history on how we got here. If you look back before the Great Recession of 2008, the real estate market in America was booming. There were people or home buyers buying homes left and right. There were mortgage lenders and originators giving mortgages to any person that could breathe. There were home builders building homes. You had new developments, new subdivisions all the time. And I remember during that time there was always model homes that you could tour. You could spend your whole weekend looking at model homes, and I just absolutely loved it. But yeah, it was just booming. Everything was great. And then the market crash came in 2008. And a lot of homeowners lost their homes to foreclosures. They couldn't afford their mortgages. And many home builders lost everything and had to leave the profession altogether. And this caused a lot of fear. And a lot of home builders said, I will never do this again. During that decade, between 2000 and 2009, there were 14.5 million homes that were built during that decade. Now, let's look at the decade of 2010 to 2019. There just was no workforce of builders building homes because of the fear that they had from the great market crash. So during that decade, there was only 6.9 million homes that were built. Now compare that to the decade prior where there was 14.5 million homes built. That is a huge difference. Then in 2020, we came into the pandemic. And during that time, we had historically low interest rates at 2 and 3%, which was incredible. But we didn't have any homes because of the decade prior. There were no home builders building any homes. So we had a lot of home buyers that came out because of the low interest rates, but there just weren't any homes. So that caused bidding wars, multiple offers, people waiving home inspections and doing all kinds of crazy things just to get into a home. Then in 2022, the Federal Reserve, they hiked up the interest rates to 5%, then they went up to 6, 7, and now we're at 8% interest rates. And the home prices have still gone up from the year 2020. So it has made it very unaffordable to get into a home or even to rent a place. Many potential homeowners would sell their homes right now, but many of them won't because they're locked into a very low interest rate. For a homeowner, it doesn't make sense to sell their home and then have to go out and buy a home at a higher interest rate at 7 and 8%. So many homeowners who would sell are staying put in their homes. So that's causing less supply on the market. Now we must look at job wages and inflation. Your wages are not keeping up with inflation, which is making it even more unaffordable to obtain home ownership or to rent a place. Now let's look at interest rates. Even if the interest rates were to drop from 8% where they're at now to 1%, Your job wages is not keeping up with the growth. So even if you try to afford a $400,000 home at 8%, which you can't afford, you won't be able to afford it at 1%. So we really need the home prices to come down. To buy a home right now at $300,000, you pretty much have to make a six-figure income per household. And I think it was stated in Newsweek that you have to have a income per household of $166,000, but in reality, the median household income is $74,000, and that is a big difference. The last reason for the home affordability crisis is because of the large hedge fund corporations that are buying up single-family homes in large cities for investment properties and using this for profit. This is preventing the average family from obtaining home ownership. Now, I just heard from a realtor a couple of weeks ago where there was a single mom that was, she had her offer in for a home, and there was multiple offers, and one of those offers was one of the large hedge fund corporations. And of course, she lost her offer in the bidding because they had cash and they could close in 2 weeks, because most people who try to buy a home or want to buy a home, they have to take out a loan. So of course she lost. If you like the information that I provide in this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that this information can get out to more people. Now, some of the solutions, in my opinion, that could help us be able to afford homes is maybe giving incentives to builders to by giving them tax credits to build affordable housing for everyone. We could also put restrictions on the large hedge fund corporations from buying up all the properties in cities and put limits on the number of units that they can have. And my last solution is to lessen the zoning laws and regulations where we're allowed to build, maybe apartment buildings where there are single family homes. But many people in those types of communities, they only want certain types of buildings and things like that. But those are some options and solutions that we can take. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to put any of your opinions and suggestions in the comments below. Thank you for watching.